Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are in a good and healthy condition. Stick to healthy protocol. We are from 10 groups. We will discuss about family life. Before we start our discussion, let me introduce the member of my group. Vivi Furi Astuti, and I'm Amalisa Jarhayati, Destiana, and Mima Listianingrum. Today, we will discuss 2 points. The first point, definition of culture. The second point, the differences between Indonesian culture and the American culture. Okay, the first point is about definition of culture. According to Cristina De Rossi, culture encompasses religion, food, what we wear, yet our language, marriage, music, what we believe is right or wrong, how we sit at the table, how we greet visitor, how we behave with loved one, and a million other things. Culture is closely connected with the habit of people or community. Melville and Bronislaw argue that everything contained in the society is determined by the culture of which is owned of the community itself. The term of that opinion is a cultural determinism. According to Heriana 2011, culture has many synonyms like habit, custom, tradition, manner, religion, food, family life, etc. It determines people do anything. Culture is the abstract thing. According to Andreas Epping, contain the entire understanding of the culture of social values, social norm, and overall knowledge of social structures, religion, and so on. In addition, all intellectual and artistic expression that characterizes a society. Newmark, 1981, describes culture as a way of life of a certain society which is expressed by certain language British anthropologists. The various definitions before it can obtain an understanding of the culture is something that will affect the level of knowledge and includes the system of ideas or the ideas contained in the human mind, so that in everyday life the culture is abstract.
Okay, continue with me. I'm Vivi. Now we will discuss about family culture between American and Indonesian. Family values. For divorce, the Americans have accustomed to earn money in their young age, but in Indonesia, children in 18 until 21 years still depend on their parents. Yeah, they are taught to independent either in their life themselves or in money. The American children work to be babysitter in another's home in adult age. The babies also learn about independent life. And in many families in America, the children 18 until 21 years are given freedom to make decisions by themselves. Usually, they leave their home to live independently. But in Indonesia, most of them tend to have all life goals based on the decisions of parents, mainly on girls. It sometimes there are some children who cannot agree with their parents. It may conflict because the parents command to follow their decision without hear what their children want. Okay, now about American family life. For divorce, trends in American family life. Dual earner families, one partner families, childless couples, and step families now are common features of American family life. Yeah, the traditional family, with the father of the sole breadwinner and the mother as the homemaker, has become the exception rather than the rule in the United States. And if you know, the percentage of households comprised of married husband wife couples living with their own children has decreased from 23.5% in 2000 to 20.2% in 2010. And the second about delayed marriage. Americans is included as the people who are having high rate rank of age in marriage. There are some of reasons in this case. First, marriage is highly considered step of life. It's because they consider marriage as one big step of their life. Marriage is one of the high considerable of choice, and then they also think marriage should be done only once for the rest of their life. And the second, they consider education is far more important for their quality. So they take higher and higher education before they think of marriage. To build a family, they should have bunch of education to produce educate child or children. Those are two examples of factors why Americans choose to delay their marriage because individual reason for quality. Okay, the third is about one-parent families. One-parent families are formed through separation, divorce, death of a spouse, birth to unwed mothers, or adoption by unmarried individuals. However, in the United States, most one-parent families are the result of divorce or of births to unwed mothers. All families experience problems. Single parents are subject to a special set of stresses and strains. And they are also generally alone in providing the care needed by their families. The major source of stress for most single parents, particularly single mothers, is the lack of money. Families led by women accounted for more than half of all poor families. The fourth is about remarriage. Step families, also called blended families, arise when one or both of the marriage partners bring children from their previous marriage into their new family. Becoming part of a step family may involve a period of adjustment. The marital partners take on the parenting roles formerly held by biological parents. This process is sometimes a source of conflict in the family. Children may resent step parents who appear to be trying to take place of a biological mother or father.
Okay, for the next is handshaking. Americans use eye contact and handshaking in their introduction with all people. It means that they assume that eye contact is the polite side if talking to someone. Besides that, when shaking hands, they shake firmly and bravely. They don't like making the prolonged handshaking. Different from Indonesians, in introduction they have some styles of handshaking and eye contact. It depends on the age and the gender. And then for the next, titles in introduction. In America, using the title in the name is based on the status or age. The people of lower status and age have to call Mr., Prof, Doctor, or Madam with a second, last order family name. In out of the office or classroom, they prefer to call their professor with the nickname or the first name. It is very different from Indonesia. Either formal or informal situation, the students must call their teacher with the title. It is so impolite if they call their teacher's name without title Mr. or Madam. Okay, go to the next slide. Indonesian life culture. First, marriage. In Indonesia, commonly people will have marriage after they finish certain education. It happened because there are considerable age for marriage, such as 13 is the maximum for men and 25 for women. There is no law punishment for that, but there is cultural punishment for it, such as they become a mumbling for the elder or neighborhoods around them. Okay, for the next is divorce. In Indonesia, a divorce is considered as the ultimate step to terminate a marriage legally. The Indonesian law stipulates that an Indonesian divorce proceeding can only be executed in front of the Indonesian court hearing and after the court has attempted and failed to reconcile both parties. It means that an Indonesian divorce proceeding is legal process to take. If the parties had tried to maintain their marriage and consider divorce as a legitimate solution for their marriage. So it's based on couple chosen. And then for the third, asking permission. In Indonesia, when a wife goes out of the house, the wife asks permission from her husband first. However, when the wife has asked permission to go out, the husband asks in detail about the person the wife will meet, like who they meet, where they meet, how old they were, how long they meet, and etc. However, there are some husbands in Indonesia who don't really mind this.
For the next is repairing the house. In Indonesia, some families prefer to ask for help from other people or craftsmen, but not all families do that. There are also families who prefer to repair themselves or buy new ones. Even if repaired themselves, the cost of the incurred will be more efficient than asking other people for help or a craftsman to fix it. The next is handshaking. In Indonesian's introduction, they have some styles of handshaking and eye contact. It means if someone meets another one who's same gender and age, make handshaking and eye contact is common and polite. Eye contact does not need if they are talking to other people whom they have to kiss the elder's hands. It is impolite in Indonesia. The sixth is titles in introduction. Either formal or informal situation, the student must call their teacher with the title. It is so impolite if they call their teacher's name with the title Mr. or Madam. But in America, using the title in the name is based on the status or age. In out of the office or classroom, they prefer to call their professor with the nickname or the first name. Okay, the last is conclusion. Most definition characterize culture as something that is widely shared by members of a social group and shared in virtue of belonging to that group. There are several differences between those both American and Indonesian culture. Those differences could be an element to complete each other's culture because each other culture must have their own weakness that should be completed during the lifetime is progressing and depending on human need, technology and knowledge. But in other hand, it could be potential cause of disaster between both of them. Thank you. Those are from us. Thank you for your watching. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.